Good afternoon. As Assistant Marshal of the Social Sciences Division of the University of Chicago, it's my great honor to welcome you to the 515th convocation of the University of Chicago. At this time, for the presentation of diplomas to the graduates of the Division of the Social Sciences. Let me now introduce the Dean of the Division of the Social Sciences, Mario Small. Please be seated.
On behalf of the faculty of the Division of the Social Sciences, welcome to Rockefeller Memorial Chapel and the University of Chicago. This morning, President Robert J. Zimmer conferred degrees on 144 students who have completed programs of advanced studies in the social sciences. This afternoon, my colleagues and I have the honor to recognize their achievements individually by presenting them with the diplomas and hoods of the University of Chicago. Today, we celebrate their accomplishments. But today we also mark the culmination of our own work as a faculty in the social sciences. In recognizing these graduates of our programs, we also reflect upon our own accomplishments as teachers, consultants, directors, and advisors. And each year, we honor one of our number upon nomination by our students with the Faculty Award for Excellence in Graduate Teaching. Let me introduce Professor Richard Tao from the Department of Comparative Human Development to present this year's award.
Eugene Raikhel is a cultural and medical anthropologist with an interest in therapeutic technologies, including addiction and treatment in Russia. In this, he brings a subtle and nuanced understanding to a subject that makes a significant contribution to the anthropology of medicine and mental health. As a teacher, he brings equal commitment to helping students achieve their best as they face serious intellectual challenges, displaying the rare ability to demand high standards in ways that are encouraging and supportive. Students are grateful for the constructive guidance they receive and learn to rely on him as a rich source of information regarding culture, medicine, and health. In addition to his work with students one-on-one, he is the sponsor of an important new departmental workshop on self and subjectivity and the inaugural director of the Comparative Human Development Colloquium, both of which enrich our students' educational experiences. Dean Small, I have the honor to present Eugene Raikhel for the Faculty Award for Excellence in Graduate Teaching and Mentoring.
Intellectual breadth combined with a commitment to high standards and clarity of thought in working with individual students makes Eugene Raikhel an ideal guide and valuable resource for students in a demanding interdisciplinary program.
It is my privilege to introduce Professor Bernard Harcourt, who will deliver the remarks. Professor Harcourt is the Julius Krieger Professor of Law and Political Science and Chair of the Department of Political Science. He earned his law degree and his doctoral degree in political science from Harvard University. He taught at Harvard and New York University and served on the faculty at the University of Arizona. He joined the University of Chicago Law School in 2003 and was appointed professor in the Department of Political Science in 2009. Professor Harcourt's research focuses on the intersection of social and political theory, the sociology of punishment, and penal law and procedure. He is the author of The Illusion of Free Markets, Punishment, and the Myth of Natural Order, and co-editor of Michel Foucault's 1981 lectures on the role of confession in truth and justice, Malfaire Dire Vrai. Professor Harcourt also authored Against Prediction, Punishing and Policing in an Actuarial Age, which won the Gordon Laing Prize, and Language of the Gun, Youth, Crime, and Public Policy, and Illusion of Order, The False Promise of Broken Windows Policing. He represented death row inmates in Alabama as an attorney at the Equal Justice Initiative in Montgomery and served on human rights missions in South Africa and Guatemala. He has published many opinion pieces in the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, and the UK Guardian. Professor Harcourt.
Welcome, graduates and families. Let me first congratulate each and every one of you, all of your family members, and indeed all of your professors as well, on your remarkable accomplishment. Let me also congratulate all of your parents and loved ones, especially for having survived that dissertation and that thesis. And now let me be the first to welcome you to the other side of the academy. Having just crossed the Rubicon, which you did this morning at approximately 10:55 a.m. in the main quad, it is, I believe, the perfect time to reflect on the trajectory of your particular disciplines and of social science research more broadly. As you know, our disciplines are extremely young. Our Department of Anthropology at the University of Chicago, for instance, as a standalone department, only dates from 1929. Before that was combined with sociology in one single department. That was a time, you may be interested to know, when there were, at the University of Chicago, departments of geography, of hygiene, and of home economics. When you were awarded your doctoral and master degrees this morning, you may have heard President Zimmer welcome you to, quote, this ancient and honorable company of scholars. Honorable it is, I assure you. But in our disciplines, for the most part, the company of scholars is by no means ancient. And our disciplines have undergone radical transformation over the past century. I feel this all the time in my own discipline, political science. Reading through the annual report of Herman Pritchett, for instance, who was chair of the political science department in 1948-49, I can hardly recognize the subfields of the discipline of political science. They were listed as international law and diplomacy, public administration, public law. Let me remind you, I'm talking about my discipline of political science, not my discipline of law here, right? Diplomacy, public law, political parties and public opinion, and political theory. The only truly continuous subfield here would be political theory, not surprisingly, given that political philosophy has such a storied and ancient history, but most of the other subfields would be practically unrecognizable today, at least not to a political scientist. You'll notice how much more administrative the field was. Many of those subfields would evaporate, transition to other spaces, or themselves become disciplines of their own. The entire subfield of public administration would branch off and become a more applied field independent of political science, focusing on matters like budgeting and human resources. In fact, you can see evidence of that fork in the road on the plaque in front of what is now Chapin Hall across the Midway, where you will see kind of archaeological evidence of that split right there on the building that once hailed the Miriam Center for Public Administration. But public administration would peel off in a very similar way that sociology would shed criminology, a process that would have significant effects on the kinds of research done in those fields. 15 years later, in 1963, the chairman of the political science department would discuss entirely different subfields, including political sociology and comparative politics. It was only until the early 1970s that you can begin to identify in the chairman's reports the present configuration of the discipline into 4 subfields, though more recently we've added a 5th, methodology. But listen well to how it was presented back then in 1970. This is Professor David Greenstone speaking. It is quite obvious that neither the traditional divisions of political science into subfields in the profession as a whole, nor the more recent modifications of these subfields reflects accurately the intellectual life of the discipline. Hardly any member of the department can be pigeonholed into any of the subfields we ourselves list. The present discussion will leave out political sociology, public administration, and constitutional law, and will be organized around 4 salient foci of activity, labeled somewhat arbitrarily: political theory, American politics, comparative politics, and international relations. And even that, of course, is under attack today as innovative schools try to break out of the mold and create an identity by means of differentiation. So at Yale, for instance, the political science department began to rethink the boundaries and to create humanistic or thematic clusters, such as the program on order, conflict, and violence, or the program on international and comparative political economy. We here at the University of Chicago also gave birth to a new subfield 2 years ago that focuses on what we call order, disorder, and conflict in response to a provostial initiative to grow the faculty. And more broadly, at the University of Chicago, we are creating new interdisciplinary ventures in the humanistic social sciences with the recent unveiling of the Neubauer Collegium for Culture and Society, as well as new ventures in economistic social sciences with the recent unveiling of the Becker-Friedman Institute for Research in Economics. Our disciplines have gone through radical transformation and continue to do so today. As Professor Andrew Abbott suggests in his book, Department and Discipline, we stand today at the end of certain journeys. For one thing, as he notes, the variables paradigm is old and tired. New methods are available for borrowing. New computational power, new masses of data, new data mining techniques are transforming the way we think about description, interpretation, and prediction. Many of these new methods and new ventures will fail, others will succeed, but one thing is for sure. There are large transformations today and on the horizon in the broader area of social research. I predict that in several decades, our social science disciplines will no longer be structured along the two axes that structure them today. First, by the object of analysis, so political objects such as Congress, or sociological objects such as bowling leagues, or economic objects such as interest rates or illicit drug markets. And second, by the dominant methodology of empirical analysis in each of the fields. That will not survive. It produces far too much duplication and far too many barriers to collaborative conversations and investigations. No, I imagine that in the future, our various disciplines will be fused into one unified field of human and social inquiry. It will be one division of social research with scholars having specialties in, perhaps, history, mathematics, philosophy, empirical analyses, data collection, ethnographic research, interviewing, and biomedical analyses. We will revert, I believe, to the subdivisions that have been associated with, as President Zimmer said, quote, the ancient and honorable company of scholars. Notice also that we will be much closer to what Auguste Comte envisioned, who himself believed that the various fields of social research would eventually merge and be replaced by a single science. He called that science sociology. I don't think that's right. But he did write fascinating lessons on that particular topic in his monumental Cours de philosophie positive, which is well worth rereading. We would also be much closer to our origins here at the University of Chicago. As many of you know, the erection of the Social Science Research Building on 59th Street, which so many of you have inhabited these past few years, was based on that very idea in the early 1920s. As Professor Leonard White explained in an article in 1929, the very idea of the building was to give life to, quote, a new administrative organization and to be, quote, the center of the cooperative research enterprises. And by way of illustration, he gave the idea that there would be a series of rooms that had been set aside, quote, for the investigation of the causes of war, a project which combines forces in the departments of political science, history, economics, sociology, and anthropology. I will end with this story, another marvelous archaeological item on our campus, which some of you may be aware of. When the Social Science Building was built, signage back then was done differently. It wasn't those new maroon placards that you've seen coming up across campus. Signs were directly drilled into the side of the stone, a little bit more permanent. And you will notice when you look at the sign for the Social Science Research Building that the workers had begun to carve out Social Sciences Research Building, that there was a space for an S, that it started somehow to be carved out, and that ultimately it wasn't. Right? And it wasn't because it wasn't to be science is, but a single unified space of research. On my view, this is correct and represents not only the past, but also the future of our disciplines. It's a future not of interdisciplinarity, but of the end of separate disciplines to be replaced by one single conception of human and social inquiry. So my advice to you, now young colleagues on this side of the academy, my advice to you is that as you navigate the waters ahead, remember to keep an eye on both the minute intricacies of your sub-field within your discipline, whether it's the APD, American Political Development, in the subfield of American politics in the discipline of political science, or whether it's all of the neighborhood effects analyses within the subfield of urban sociology within the discipline of sociology. But also keep a keen eye on the larger shifts in the field of social science that may revolutionize and fundamentally change the way you think about what you do. Be bold, be wise, look forward, understand the future, and most importantly, make us and make your parents and your loved ones proud of you. Congratulations, welcome to the Academy and to the profession.
At this time, and in the favoring presence of the congregation here assembled, the chairs of the several departments and programs, or their appointed representatives, will present the recipients of diplomas to the Dean of the Division. A representative from the Committee on International Relations will now present to the Dean the recipients of the degree of Master of Arts in International Relations.
Dean Small, these students have completed the program of study prescribed by the faculty in the Committee on International Relations. On behalf of the faculty in the Committee on International Relations, I now have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Master of Arts.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the Committee on International Relations. I will now present you with the diploma of the University of Chicago.
Ellen Bergman. Rachel Marie Wanda Berger. Kristen Ann Castellano. Mara Caitlin Deckard. Mark Deming. Rebecca Goncharoff. Maria Grinberg. Luke David Hagberg. Stephen Hammersmark. Minna Hoyland. Yaniv Kleinman. Xiao Ing Ko. Michelle Malik. Joshua Adam Odor. Shayna Lynn Simiatin. Grace Shao. Anazania Lane Wallace. Joshua Samuel Werger.
The Deputy Director of the Center for Middle Eastern Studies will now present to the Dean the recipients of the degree of Master of Arts in Middle Eastern Studies.
Dean Small, these students have completed the program of study prescribed by the faculty in the Center for Middle Eastern Studies. On behalf of the faculty in the Center for Middle Eastern Studies, I now have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Masters of Arts.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in Middle Eastern Studies. I now present you with the Diploma of the University of Chicago.
Spencer Bailey Duncan. Kevin Andrew Graham. Catherine Elizabeth Hagerman. Isaac Nathaniel Hand. Jamie Wan Weng Huang. Larry Pandy. Gizem Palavji. Daniel Stephen Schoen.
The Academic Associate Dean of the Division of the Social Sciences and Director of the Master of Arts program in the Social Sciences will now present to the Dean the recipients of the degree of Master of Arts in the Social Sciences.
Dean Small, these students have completed the program of study prescribed by the faculty in the Master of Arts program in the Social Sciences. On behalf of the faculty in the Social Sciences Division, I now have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Master of Arts.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the social sciences. I now present you with the Diploma of the University of Chicago.
Alexander Reed Addis. Kimberly Jean Ang. Daniel William Blanky. Luke Brinker. Stacy Leon Chin. Jin Kai Ching. Michelle Choi. Samuel Frederick Coggeshall. Ariana Marie Coleman. Eve Christina Aesmont. Mats Johan Ekman. Taylor Jordan Gombos. Matthew William Harris. Cameron Alexander Hecht. Frey Hoffman. Caitlin Jewell. Jody Kantner. James Patrick Kennedy. Harriet Virginia Charlotte Kevel Davies. Dina Kaimova. Catherine McGavock Lee. Darnell Leatherwood. Sarah Ann Outland. Nicholas Wen Pin Kwa. Brianne Elizabeth Reeves. Casey Dro Chon. Helen Johanna Shears. Libby Rachel Snow. Alexa Florence Marie Steele. Daniel Jackson Story. Hannah White. Travis James White. Miller Shores Wright.
A representative from the Department of Anthropology will now present to the Dean the recipients of the degrees of Master of Arts and Doctor of Philosophy in Anthropology.
Dean Small. This student has completed the program of study prescribed by the faculty in the Department of Anthropology. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Anthropology, I now have the honor to present him as recipient of the degree of Masters of Arts.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in anthropology. I now present you with the Diploma of the University of Chicago.
Ian McGonigal. Dean Small. Each of the students I present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Anthropology, I now have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in anthropology. I now present you with the Diploma and Hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Nithya Deepa Das Acevedo. Religion, Law, and the Making of a Liberal Indian State. Marcos Alexander Mendoza. Topographies of Risk, Social Practice, and Environmental Capitalism in Patagonia. Lashandra Patrice Sullivan. The Space to Be Ourselves, Ethnicity, Agribusiness, and Land Conflict in Brazil.
The Chair of the Department of Comparative Human Development will now present to the Dean the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Comparative Human Development.
Dean Small, each of the students I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Comparative Human Development, I now have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in comparative human development. I now present you with the diploma and hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Jason Neal Bruck, New Perspectives on Dolphin Whistles, Evaluating Signal, Context, Categorization, and Memory. Sarah Seligren Dunn, Living with Increased Risk for Breast and Ovarian Cancer. Do religion and spirituality influence health behavior? Elena Carlin Wells Goldwert, Somatic Hope, Practice, Persuasion, and the Body Self in North American Yoga Therapy.
A representative from the Department of Economics will now present to the Dean the recipients of the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy in Economics and Doctor of Philosophy in Financial Economics.
Dean Small. Each of the students I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Economics, I have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in economics. I now present you with the diploma and hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Amanda Yvonne Agan. The returns to community college. Victoria Baranov. Essays on the role of life expectancy in economic development. Hua Chai, International Trade, Productivity, and Growth in Open Economies. John Anthony Cookson, Anticipated Entry and Entry Deterrence, Evidence from the American Casino Industry. Thorsten Drautsberg, Essays on Macroeconomics. Mickey Ferry, Rent, Buy, or Pirate, Consumer Preferences in the Movie Industry. Miriam Gedsofsky, Skills, Education, and Lifetime Earning. Hayes Nathaniel Golden, Childhood Autism and Assortative Mating. Chung-Sang Lam, Social Network Formation and Peer Effects, Estimation and Policy Implications. Syed Ali Madanizadeh, Labor Specialization and the Impact of International Trade on the Skill Premium. Rui Cartashomano, Essays on Exchange Rate Risk. Marina Neisner, Strategic Disclosure Timing and insider trading. Fernando Diego Perez Cervantes, Railroads and Economic Growth, a Trade Policy Approach. Laura Pilasov, a multi-sector equilibrium search model of labor reallocation. Daniel Ramsey, financial assistance and educational attainment. Chae-Hee Shin, the supply side of diversification, evidence from global entry patterns of mutual fund families. David Aaron Smith, Essays on Law and Economics. Jörg Spenkuch, Strategic Voting in Large Elections. Ty Turley, Status, Institutions, and Development, Field Experiments. Cindy Yuan, Preventative Care, How Comorbidities Affect Screening Rates. Dean Small, the student I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty at the Department of Economics and in the Booth School of Business, I have the honor to present him as recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Financial Economics.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in financial economics. I now present you with the diploma and hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Serhii Kozak, Endogenous Risk-Taking and Risk Premia Dynamics.
The chair of the Department of History will now present to the dean the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in History.
Dean Small, each of the students I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of History, I have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in history. I now present you with the diploma and hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Jason Dawsey, The Limits of the Human in the Age of Technological Revolution, Gunther Anders, Post-Marxism and the Emergence of Technology Critique. Ke-Chen Xia, War, Welfare, and Social Citizenship, The Politics of War Victim Welfare in Austria, 1914 to 1925. Gwenan Elizabeth Ickes, Choosing a Church and Choosing a Hat, Mainline Protestantism and Consumer Culture in the United States, 1875 to 1910. Nyan Shen Song, My Land, My People, Discourses and Practices in the Tuman River Demarcation, 1860s to 1910s. Ali Titchener, The Trouble with Women, the Catholic Church, Gender Politics, and the West German Public, 1959 to 1989.
The chair of the Department of Political Science will now present to the dean the recipients of the degrees of Master of Arts and Doctor of Philosophy in Political Science.
Dean Small, this student has completed the program of study prescribed by the faculty in the Department of Political Science. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Political Science, I now have the honor to present him as recipient of the degree of Masters of Arts.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in political science. I now present you with the Diploma of the University of Chicago.
Christopher Mercado. Dean Small, each of the students I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Political Science, I have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in political science. I now present you with the Diploma and Hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Danielle Y. Aboba, 3 essays on the significance of international relations theory for domestic institutional design. Lindsay A. O'Rourke, Secrecy and Security, U.S. Orchestrated Regime Change During the Cold War.
The chair of the Department of Psychology will now present to the dean the recipients of the degrees of Master of Arts and Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology.
Dean Small, these students have completed the program of study prescribed by the Department of Psychology. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Psychology, I now have the honor to present them as recipients of the degree of Master of Arts.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in psychology. I now present you with the Diploma of the University of Chicago.
Aaron Brandon Ball. Elizabeth Ann Necka. Dean Small, the student I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Psychology, I have the honor to present her as recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in psychology. I now present you with the Diploma and Hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Elizabeth Christine Allen, role for working memory in resolving perceptual ambiguity.
A representative from the Neff Committee on Social Thought will now present to the dean the recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Social Thought.
Dean Small, the student I now present has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Neff Committee on Social Thought, I have the honor to present her as a recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in social thought. I now present you with the Diploma and Hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Cynthia Lillian Rutz, King Lear and its folktale analogs.
A representative of the Department of Sociology will now present to the Dean the recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology.
Dean Small, the student I now present, has attained scholarly distinction in advanced studies and has prepared a dissertation which contributes to knowledge in a particular field of research. On behalf of the faculty in the Department of Sociology, I have the honor to present him as a recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
You have successfully completed a program of advanced study in sociology. I now present you with the diploma and hood of the University of Chicago and welcome you to this ancient and honorable company of scholars.
Sheldon Bernard Like, Cosmopolitan Courts and Strange Laws, Essays on Judicial Globalization and Social Resistance to Foreign Law.
I am honored to have the opportunity, on behalf of the Division of the Social Sciences, to congratulate you on the end of one chapter of your life and the beginning of another. In one of his most memorable speeches, Theodore Roosevelt said about 100 years ago that far and away, the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. We all know that the University of Chicago is a place devoted to the pursuit of knowledge, that it is a place where critical inquiry is primary, where we learn to question persistently and relentlessly and with constant curiosity in the belief that education and self-education depend above all on the asking of questions. Everyone asks of everyone else all the time. But it is also a place that offers the opportunity to work hard, very hard, at something we all believe is worth doing, to work hard at generating knowledge, at developing new and better ways of understanding the social, of uncovering the political and cultural and economic and historical and psychological dynamics that underlie the world around us. That is important work of the very highest order. That is the work that first brought you to the University of Chicago. And today we mark the completion of one more threshold in pursuit of that noble collective cause. And it was, in fact, collective. As my predecessor in this role often said, today is also an opportunity for gratitude because you did not perform that work alone. And so graduates, I ask that you rise. And please turn around and thank the parents, siblings, husbands, wives, daughters and sons, roommates, partners, and others who listened, helped, and prayed while you pursued your work here. Thank the people who helped you understand that your work here was collective in more senses than one. I also invite you to turn back and face the faculty of the division to thank them for their work with you, for being the group that, no matter how warm or tough, no matter how jolly or serious, never wavered in their belief in the nobility of this work and in your capacity to perform it. You may be seated. And finally, I ask that you take a moment to reflect and to thank yourself, something we probably all too often fail to do here at the university. If there is anything we learn in a culture of sharp, persistent inquiry, it is to doubt. And certainly no good critical mind can doubt others without also doubting itself. Questioning the foundations of our own thoughts is, in that sense, the truest basis of our work. But for that self-questioning to be fruitful and generative, it must be accompanied in the end by gratitude, by self-gratitude. You may and should thank yourself for embracing the spirit of this place, for challenging yourself, and most importantly, as evidence for your presence, by your presence here in this hall today, for never giving up. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once argued that the purpose of life was to overcome oneself again and again. You have overcome yourself. Through sacrifice and commitment, you have achieved a level of capacity and understanding and mental acuity that you did not have before you began here. And as you have learned the worth, value, and joy of your own sacrifice with the help of others, I invite you to continue on that path of constant probing and to consider how else you might better the work of the world that you are about to enter. You are now permanently part of a university community that believes in the worth to the world of a particular kind of very hard work. May you continue to serve others by embracing some new version of that kind of hard work. And may you continue to overcome yourself again and again. I thank you for having shared your commitment with us, and I wish you good luck.
And now, with the added congratulations to the graduates from the faculty of the division, this concludes the awarding of diplomas in the Division of the Social Sciences and the 515th convocation of the University of Chicago. Thank you.